Job position hooks. This is something so very, very critical that I see so few writers doing. Yeah, we see them in most of the Tory wins. But when you look at jobs that are detailed on a resume, what do we so often see? We see the job title, company name, maybe the location, the date, and then we either see a paragraph or we get and some bullets, just a generalized idea. Paragraph and bullets, or just bullets, right? Aren't those kind of the two most common things you see? Or sometimes, and I'm talking about professional resumes, sometimes you just say a paragraph, but none of us would just do that, would we? Not on that invaluable real estate, I'll say the most recent job, we wouldn't just put a paragraph. But the problem is when you go and you look at it, if they didn't put a paragraph and they've just gone with bullets, they've lost this valuable opportunity to tell a story, to hook their reader into wanting to know why they should keep looking. So if they just went into bullets to give some specific examples and results, they haven't necessarily hooked you. If they have put a paragraph in, a lot of times that paragraph is generic. Who wants to cry every time they see a paragraph that starts with responsible for? I cry all the time. Yeah, I cry all the time too. But even stuff I see come in from some people in our industry, none here. Never. We're all too good for that. They come in and it's like, no. Because if you're saying responsible for, you're saying, I've just vomited up a job description and done nothing to stand out between myself and the other candidates. Instead, like that, you have to use that valuable real estate, especially in that prime position of your most recent employment or whatever you're showcasing first in work history or experience. You have to showcase something that has higher value, and that's where we get the hook. And the hook comes from, how do we find the hook? I've already told you, same way we found the USP, and we find the USP by finding the hook. What do?
Follow the rabbit.
Follow the rabbit. Follow the rabbit. I want that. I want you to wake up in the night screaming, follow the rabbit! So, I already gave you lots of examples on how we find the hook in what we were just talking about. In here, in the notebook, I've given you more targeted questions and told you what not to do. Again, don't start with responsibilities. Avoid jumping straight into bullets and losing that opportunity. And I won't go into these questions. You can read them here. You'll see here I even included when you get nothing in response to all those digging questions, because I've had that happen. I once had a president of a technology company who I asked her all the right questions. It's okay. I don't even know. I'll just shut it off until I'm ready to do the example. Asked her all the right questions. She's this high-powered executive. She's giving me nothing. She's like, the company was really successful already, and what did you do? And, they kind of, and then I finally, on the back end of the, as we're digging through, as we're following the rabbit down the multiple rabbit holes, all those rabbit tunnels, I finally dug out of her by just continuing to hammer away with questions the fact that it was an old boys club. And, they hired me and it was kind of like a dare. Yeah, we're already really successful. We're entrenched. We're doing so fantastic. There's no way you can do better. Oh. And I'm like, challenged, accepted. What did you do? And suddenly comes the flood tide. Well, and suddenly we had this whole different view. And of course I asked the questions. I kept going down the rabbit hole. Oh, okay, so really, they thought that their sales couldn't be any better. See the baseline we have to work with? Challenge accepted here, right? A highly successful, established company, status quo, and she comes in and blows their doors off by still managing to raise sales despite the fact that it's a mature industry. And how much did you raise them? And what did you do to do it? And you go down each of those paths, and suddenly we had all these fantastic things that we could play out, but we had, because we got to we followed that rabbit far enough to know what the base was, which was that they didn't think anybody could do any better for them, and still she did. And isn't that an amazing brand to get to play up?
Oh, yeah.
When we go back to the summary